My name is Haben, and I'm an 8th grader in string orchestra.
Hello, my name is Natasha So, and I am also an 8th grader in string orchestra.
We were both lucky to have Mr. Perazzo as our teacher in 6th and 7th grade, as well as this year when he was our substitute for Mr. Dandria.
Though last year we were able to celebrate him before he retired, we wanted to take an opportunity to share our appreciations for him in person. We'd like to read just a few of these appreciations from ourselves, as well as our classmates.
Speaking for myself, I remember that in 7th grade, Mr. Perazzo would always play classical music in the beginning of the online Strings 2 class while we were setting up. Every single day, he would pick a different composer, and I would try to guess the composed piece. Me and Mr. Perazzo played this game throughout the year, and in turn, broadened my knowledge of classical music.
Speaking for myself, although my time with Mr. Perazzo was limited, that small period of time ended up amounting to so much. He gave me my first true orchestral experience, which couldn't have been any better. Being able to play with so many devoted people, work at something until it's perfect, to have both a relaxed place where we can have fun and experience the performance attitude. Being a part of Strings 1 got me on the orchestra high, and I still haven't been able to get off of it. It's an environment where words can only do so much to describe, so I'd have to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
And now, a few appreciations from our classmates. Mr. Perazzo, I want to thank you for developing a big part in my life. Without you, I would have never found the wonders of music. Your teaching makes music special. Your class was my favorite part of the day. Through your jokes and lighthearted spirit, I found happiness in music.
I love Mr. Perazzo's dad jokes in 6th grade. Often Mr. Perazzo would start the class with a silly pun or joke. It always livened up the class. Thank you, Mr. Perazzo.
Although I didn't have an in-person class with you, I heard a lot from you from our classmates. Everyone said you were great and fun, so I wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to thank you for leaving such a positive impact in our education and environment. Thank you, Mr. Perazzo.
I remember when I had just switched instruments from saxophone to violin in 6th grade. I was behind the class as it was my first year playing the violin. Mr. Perazzo helped me make this transition and inspired me to continue learning the violin and music in general. The improvement I made that year wouldn't have been possible without Mr. Perazzo's help. Thank you, Mr. Perazzo.
What I learned in Strings 1 truly prepared me for string orchestra. My private teacher skipped over a lot of music basics, or maybe I simply don't remember them. But having Mr. Perazzo in 6th grade taught me so much and has helped me so greatly in string orchestra this year. Thank you, Mr. Perazzo.
Mr. Perazzo really tried his best during remote learning. He cheered us up, and he played the tunes with his clarinet along with us, which was very nice. He was very motivating. Thanks, Mr. Perazzo.
Thank you for being such a great teacher, Mr. Perazzo. You're a great teacher, and I was lucky to have you as a teacher, even for just a year. I enjoyed playing music with you, and you were always helpful. It's nice to have you back as a substitute. Thank you, Mr. Perazzo.
I remember from 6th grade that we were playing a piece in front of the class for an assignment. I was nervous, and I messed up my part. Mr. Perazzo gave me feedback saying that I should play louder and have more confidence. It made me more comfortable in class and more confident for the next time. Thanks for that, Mr. Perazzo.
And finally, I recall Mr. Perazzo making a joke during class. He asked what the difference is between a piano and a fish. The punchline was, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Thanks, Mr. Perazzo.
We are so grateful for you, Mr. Perazzo, and we are so excited to premiere New Chances, New Dances with you tonight from all of your students. Thank you, Mr. Perazzo.
All right, thanks everybody. I would like, I'm going to try not to talk too much. I have a habit of doing that. So I'll try to take it easy on you. I first of all would like to thank the Harvest Park Boosters, my wonderful wife Roz, all the families in the community that had anything to do with the commission of this piece, and also the commission of the other piece that will be playing tomorrow with the jazz band. I just truly appreciate it. I've been so supported. I've been so lucky to be here in Harvest Park, and just the wonderful families and the supportive community, and just that you get that it's super important for these kids to be doing what they're doing. So it was a lot of work, but it was great, it was rewarding, and it was a bunch of fun. I would like to just talk a minute about the piece. I had the pleasure of picking up Richard Meyer from the airport. I had worked with him on other occasions, so I know him a little bit. But we were talking on the drive back from the airport to school, and he was just telling me the story about this piece. He goes, I don't know what I'm going to write about. So he was talking with Roz and maybe some other folks, I'm not sure, but she let him know that I'm a relative of Niccolo Paganini, who was a 19th century violinist and composer. One of his famous pieces was the Caprice number 24 for violin. It may be the most copied melody throughout the ages of classical composers, very famous. And he decided, okay, well, you're a relative of him, we'll do that. And then Roz also told him that I like jazz. So he said, okay, so I'm going to write it in 5/4 to get kind of a jazz beat going. So what this piece is a composition in rondo form, and rondo means there are different melodies, like the main melody is A, the second melody is B, then it goes back to A, then the next melody is C, A, D, and so forth. Well, he's written it in a rondo form. The B melody will be in the form of a tango, the C melody will be in the form of a European folk song, and then the D melody will be in the form of a waltz. It's a really beautiful piece. The students are doing a great job on this. And lastly, I'd like to thank Pat. What a dork. I'd like to thank Pat for allowing me to have one more performance, or my last performance, with Harvest Bar Kids. Thank you.